Today, I am going to solve the annual conundrum of making string lights for a festive occasion for a composition. Usually, if I'm making a composition, I will make whatever graphic I am making to make a new brush. A pattern brush is what I always use to make string lights, not any other kind of brush. Here is how I usually do it. I usually zoom in a lot and create my light bulb string lights. You know what I'm talking about, those ones that people stick all over their shrubs. I usually use my ellipse tool to create a light bulb. I usually set the color of the light bulb to something I think would be festive. This is a digital thing, so it doesn't matter how bright it is. Forget that this would not work in print, that's besides the point. I grab my direct select tool and shift select each of these points on the side. Very carefully with my little arrow tool, I move them up so that it makes this more into a bulb shape. Like a light bulb. Looks like a light bulb, right? I'm going to use my rectangle shape tool to make what would be, I don't know, what the heck is that called? The bulb cap? No, I'm not doing a great job here, but um, and it sort of doesn't matter what color I put into it. And I know you're saying, "Oh, Lauren, that's so freaking small." Okay. Um, this is going to become my, well, the cap, the end of the light bulb. If I want to only round, that's very rigid, square, linear, any of those words looking. If I want to only round these top two corners, I mean, if I do this, it'll round all of them, and that looks kind of like poop. Um, if I grab my direct selection tool and hold down my shift key, click each of, whoops, click, yeah, I'm tired. Click each of these to get rid of that little target corner rounder thing in there. I can only round the top of these. Next, I am going to use, I don't know, I could use pen tool, I could use line segment tool. If you're wondering, like, what's a practical purpose for line segment tool? It's for making line segments. I got to go past the edges of my bulb, and I'm going to hold down my shift key to make sure I make a straight line. I'm not doing a great job here, and I probably didn't center them very well. Also, 1 point, probably not enough. I'm going to jack that way up because these are going to be string lights. Also, this is also like 1 point, and I kind of don't like that, but I don't really need it too heavily. 2 point is fine. I'm going to select all of these things and use my alignment tools up here to make sure I did a good job centering them. I'm not done yet. Yeah, I could round the bottom of this thing. I don't know, do I really want to like, if I chose that and went over here and grabbed my anchor point tool and you said, Laura, make it round, that looks a little too weird. I can make it round. I could make it convex or concave. I don't know, big geometry words. I can also set, if you think this should have a little highlight over here like a bulb would have, I would probably make one of those with blob brush tool set to some kind of, oops, no, don't want to do that, that's for sure. Deselect that bad boy, grab my blob brush and set the fill color to something lighter than what's in my bulb and reduce the size of the brush a little bit. I mean, there's a variety of ways that I could do that. The tricks that we learned with object blend, I mean, the stroke is probably going to screw things up, but I could probably do an object blend, or if I decide, hey, that looks, nice enough. Rotate it slightly. I know I did a bad job. It came out kind of weird. Um, I know if I put an effect on it, it's going to say, no, 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 you can't do that. Maybe I'll just play around with the opacity and make it a little lighter. Okay, whatever. It's a bulb. Other things I'm going to do. This is going to become my light bulb. Like I said, these things extend past the edge of the bulb. I don't know if I wanted to make them more spread out. I could if I didn't care if the bulbs were close to each other. Uh, we're going to try it. Maybe I'll make more than one. Okay, deselecting that. Over here in my brushes panel, I'm going to get rid of all my other brushes. Yeah, I know you can't see that. I'm going to pull this thing over here, go to my little sandwich menu up here, uh, and do select all unused and just trash can them all because I really don't need any other ones in there. I'm going to grab my selection tool, select everything I just made. I could group it together if I was worried about messing it up, or not. I'm gonna put that in here as a new brush. Again, I could use the thing down here to add the new brush, this little plus sign, or I could just go to the sandwich menu and hit new brush, or I could try dragging that whole thing in there. This is going to be a pattern brush, so I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to show me a little preview of the thing that it's going to make. I'm going to call it something that makes sense to what it is, red lights, and hit OK. So now I'm not crazy about that little corner one. I might fix that. I'm going to zoom back out, fit my artboard in my window, maybe zoom out some more so we can see. There's my bulb. Like I said, it's off of my artboard because I don't want to mess that thing up. I'm going to deselect the bulb by clicking anywhere else, not the bulb. I'm going to select, it's really important that the bulb is deselected when you do this. I'm going to select my brush and use whatever I want to use. How much control do I want to have? If I don't feel like having a whole lot of control, pencil tool would probably work fine. I'm probably going to have to apply the brush to this thing after I do it because, how do you like that? It didn't do it. Okay. I selected the line and applied my brush, and there's a whole lot of light bulbs, and they're all red. I know what you're saying. Well, what if you wanted like other colors? Like there was a house that I saw, and they had all these different colors. I'm gonna duplicate this because you guys know I'm lazy, tired, lazy, lazy, tired. Um, I am going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Wow, everything is like scary, not working today. I'm gonna option click and drag that thing and line it up with the one next to it. Make sure there's no little space between here. I'm gonna select inside there and grab another color. How about green? That looks like poop with that, so I'm gonna grab another color for that and maybe mess around with the opacity some more. Again, I'm just grabbing stock colors. So I'm gonna take this whole thing. I'm gonna, this time I'm gonna use a plus sign down here. New pattern brush. Okay. Red, green, lights. Doesn't matter. I misspelled it. It's alright. Nobody cares. Click OK. Okay, so now if I go back to fitting my artboard in window, if you said, Laura, change that thing and make it that new brush you just made. I think you see where I'm going with this, right? So if you had a whole bunch of these things and if you said, ew, I don't want to make them just like those complementary colors, also known as some people think they're seasonal colors. If you wanted to keep playing with all these things and making them, I don't know, rainbow. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to zoom in until I reach the old lady. I'm letting the smart guides help me line stuff up because I'm dangerous today. If you said, Laura, can you make a, somebody always asks this time of year, my employers usually, but maybe some of you say, can you make a rainbow brush? I probably didn't count enough bulbs here. Okay, but instead of being that color, I'm going to change it to that other color. That kind of works with this lighter color. Maybe I'll, no, it can't be green. It could be brighter yellow. Okay, looks better. That's not yellow, that's orange. Yeah, I know my colors. Yeah, I get paid to do this. That's gonna have to change to white. Again, it's like whatever you think looks great to you. If you think the green in here is not punchy enough, choose a different green. I don't know. Is it okay? Is it alright? Should it be more like a Kelly green, whatever? Magic marker, garbage nightmare, blue. That's green, but it looks kind of okay. Now it's blue. I don't know. I could make them all like white. We'll make that purple. And no, I am not the Bob Ross of Adobe Illustrator. Okay. Yeah, if I wanted to, I didn't have to make them those blue colors. I could have made them all white. This one is white. I think it's a little too intense, so I'm going to knock the opacity down a little bit. So it's not as intense. Great. So yeah, can I make a brush out of that thing? Mm-hmm. I just selected all of that stuff. I also did not do anything to like line it up or make sure they were evenly spaced. I don't know. Real lights are evenly spaced. Pattern brush. Okay. It shows me what it's going to look like. I give it an appropriate name. I name everything different. Otherwise, it'll just name it whatever the default name is. I don't know if I'm really in a hurry, maybe I don't care. If I'm making it for myself, maybe I don't care. If I'm handing this off to somebody else I work with, which is the reason I would be doing this, everything's got to be named, so there's no doubt about what it is. We'll call it Rainbow Lights in case they think it's like Rainbow something else. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to zoom back out so you can see all this stuff. So you say, okay, make this into Rainbow Lights. Okay, there you go. So basic, it's the same concept as the Pearl Garland pattern brush. It is a basic pattern brush that allows you to make string lights, very useful certain times of the year.